Zia had piloted vessels across 73 star systems, but he'd never felt nervous climbing into a cockpit until the day Elsa stepped aboard his courier ship. She was a xenoanthropologist from the Galactic Research Collective, hired for the summer season to study the remnants of ancient human colonies scattered across the outer reaches. The job posting had been simple: transport one scientist, maintain professional distance, collect payment at season's end. Zia needed the credits to repair his ship's aging quantum drive, and 3 months of steady work seemed like a blessing from the void itself. "Ready for departure, Dr. Elsa?" Zia asked as she secured herself in the co-pilot's seat, her research equipment humming softly in the cargo bay behind them. "Just Elsa's fine," she said, brushing a strand of dark hair from her eyes. "And yes, let's see what humanity left behind in the Kepler corridor." What made the job unusual wasn't the destination or the duration. It was Elsa herself. She was human, like Zia, but she'd been raised among the Valori, a species known for their cold logic and emotional restraint. The collective had thousands of xenoanthropologists, but few studied their own species from the outside. Elsa had spent 20 years analyzing humanity, as if they were just another alien race in the galactic catalog. Their first flight to the abandoned colony on Meridian 4 should have been routine. 4 hours of faster-than-light travel, minimal conversation, professional courtesy. Instead, Zia found himself explaining why he'd painted his ship's interior panels in varying shades of blue and gold. "Humans need color," he said somewhat defensively. "Other species don't understand it, but we do. It's not logical. It's just necessary." Elsa had looked at the panels with scientific curiosity, then something shifted in her expression. "I haven't been in a human-decorated space in years," she admitted. "I'd forgotten how much She stopped herself. How much humans prioritize aesthetic comfort over pure functionality. But Zia caught what she'd almost said. How much she'd forgotten. The flights continued throughout the summer. Meridian 4, then the crystal caves of Sorrow's End, then the orbital gardens of Haven Station. Each destination revealed fragments of human civilization, and with each jump through the stars, something unexpected bloomed between them. It started with music. During their third flight, Zia played an old Earth song through the ship's speakers, something with guitars and a melody that ached with longing. Elsa, who had been reviewing her notes, went completely still. When he glanced over, tears were streaming down her face. "I'm sorry," she said quickly, wiping her eyes. "The Valori don't cry. I thought I'd trained myself past this." "Why would you want to?" Zia asked softly. She had no answer for that. On their 7th flight, they encountered a solar storm that forced them to dock at an unmapped way station. The facility was ancient, built by human explorers centuries ago, and as they waited out the radiation surge, they explored the abandoned corridors together. In the station's observation deck, they found walls covered in hand-painted murals of Earth, forests, oceans, mountains beneath impossible blue skies. "They were so far from home," Elsa whispered, tracing her fingers over painted waves. "But they brought it with them. They couldn't help themselves." "Is that weakness?" Zia asked, standing close enough that their shoulders almost touched. "The Valori would say it is. The Valori would say a lot of things." She turned to him then, and in the soft light of distant stars filtering through the viewport, she looked vulnerable in a way he'd never seen before. "They taught me that emotions are inefficient. That human attachment is an evolutionary flaw we should transcend." "What do you think?" "I think," she said carefully, "that every flight with you feels like coming home to something I didn't know I'd lost." The unspoken thing between them crystallized in that moment. Each flight had been more than professional transport. They were stolen pockets of time where Elsa could remember what it meant to be human, and Zia could share his humanity with someone who truly understood its value. By their 15th flight, they'd stopped pretending. Elsa would bring coffee into the cockpit. Not the synthetic nutrition paste preferred by most species, but real coffee that Zia brewed from earth-grown beans he kept in violation of half a dozen trade regulations. They'd fly with their hands occasionally brushing over the controls. Comfortable silences punctuated by conversations about everything and nothing. "The collective wants me to return next month," Elsa said during what should have been their final flight. "They're impressed with my research on human cultural resilience." Zia's chest tightened. "And will you go back?" The ship hummed around them as they drifted through the cosmos, 2 humans alone in the infinite dark. Elsa unbuckled her safety harness and moved to stand beside his pilot's chair, her hand finding his. "I've spent 20 years studying humanity from the outside," she said. "Observing, cataloging, analyzing. But these flights with you, Zia, they taught me something no research ever could." "What's that?" "That humanity's strength isn't something you study. It's something you feel. It's music that makes you cry and colors that serve no purpose except beauty. It's coffee brewed with care and conversations that drift like stellar dust. It's the way we can't help but paint oceans on distant walls because we carry home in our hearts." She leaned down, her forehead touching his. "It's finding someone who makes every flight feel like a hidden honeymoon, even when neither of us admitted what this was." Zia powered down the autopilot, letting the ship drift in peaceful orbit above their final research site. "So what happens now?" Elsa smiled, and it was the most human expression he'd ever seen. "Now I think I need a permanent pilot, someone who understands that the most important human trait isn't logic or efficiency. What is it? The ability to find love in the journey itself." In the observation port, stars wheeled in their ancient dance, and two humans floated together in the dark, no longer lost, finally found.